After looking through Friday's classwork, I've noticed that we're kind of inconsistent with graphing on the calculator, so I'd like to review the portion of the lesson that referred to graphing. So, as you can see on the left-hand side, this is the question that you were asked to graph. It asked you to create the graph based on the equations we wrote back in number 1 together. So I'm going to go over to my graphing calculator. I'm going to go to my y equals. I'm going to clear out anything that is in my calculator. I'm now going to write the equations that we wrote together. So our equation for cost was 8x plus $200. Our income cost was 12x. Now that I have those graphed, I can try to press graph. I may or may not see the intersection. I'm going to go over here to my second button that's labeled window. If you look over here where it has the table above the graph, this is the min and the max and the scale that they want you to use. So your minimum or your lower bound for videos, your x-axis, would be 0. So that x-min is going to become 0. My x-max is my upper bound for videos, which is 70. My x-scale is what I'm counting by, and they're telling you my interval is 5. When I go over here to the money, that is my y-axis. My y value, minimum or lower bound, would be 0. My x maximum or my upper bound would be 900, which makes sense because we're talking about money. Oops, let me clear that out. And then they would like us to count by 50 on the intervals for that scale. So we're going to press 50. Now that we've typed in our window, we're just going to press graph, and we should see the first quadrant with our lines intersecting. Now this blue line is our cost because it's starting around 200, and our red line is our income. It's starting at 0. I can always go to the table, and I can check my table to see if the table that I did on the previous page was correct. So I can always go back over here and check those values that I typed in. But I'm going to go back to my graph. I need to find this location where they intersect. So I can either look on my table to find that, or I can use those intersection features. I'm going to go ahead and use the intersection features. So above trace in blue is calc. So I'm going to press second, trace, and number 5 is intersect. Number 5. You're now going to move your cursor, this little blinky guy, over to the intersection. Another name for intersection is break-even point. We talked about that in class. I'm going to press enter 3 times. Enter, enter, enter. At the bottom of your screen, you see the intersection of 50 and 600. So that's the information you're going to use to answer the rest of the classwork. So over here, it says use your graph to determine the number of videos to which the cost is greater. So when is the blue line above the red line? The blue line's above from 0 to 50. Or you could say less than 50 videos. Then it says use the graph to determine when the income is greater. So when is the red on top? The red is on top after 50 videos. If you go to the last page of the assignment, determine the break-even point. So where do they intersect? 50, 600. What is the store's profit? Well, my income is 600. My cost is 600. So 600 minus 600 give me a profit of $0. So then what is the point of intersection? The point of intersection is the same thing as the break-even point, 50, 600. What do the coordinates represent? 50 videos will cost $600 or will make $600. And the last question, describe the number of videos that must be sold in order to make a profit. You could say more than 50 or at least 51 videos. I hope this clears up some misconceptions about the graphing and the assignment. I will be posting a full answer key along with this video.